But Sam,
Yes.
they're here to talk about and understand, or we're here to talk about and teach them about things that are very important to a couple Italian guys like us. And that's meat in the form of a hot dog and pizza.
And Italian beef. You
And
got
Italian
Italian beef. The
That's
three
your
things.
trifecta.
Yeah.
So there's going to be people here. So the other day I was at a pizza place, and first of all, my wife ruined pizza for me. First of all, because she dips it with ranch dressing.
No, the ranch dressing thing.
It's a whole thing.
Oh my God.
It's a whole thing.
Like,
It's almost a divorce
I know.
situation. It's
How?
a whole thing.
Why?
I took her to Chicago. She had pizza. She asked for ranch. They actually took the pizza away from her. They said, "You don't deserve pizza if you're going to dip it into the ranch." What is that? But that's a Texas thing. So I go to this Via 313, which is a Detroit
Detroit
pizza
style
place.
pizza. Yep.
And the guy doesn't know I'm from Chicago, but he's just saying, hey, he unsolicitedly told me this pizza. I go, how good is your pizza? He said, this makes Chicago pizza taste like dog food. This pizza is the best. And I said, really? And I said, have you been to Chicago? And not a guy who says they're from Chicago, but you ate it in Arizona. Have you been in the city for Chicago? No, I've never. I go, shame on you. Don't ever say this again. This is a lesson learned opportunity. So, Sam, based upon that, we have our neighborhood joints, which is our thin, which is explain to the audience the pizza philosophy, how they're in squares and why they're not in pizza pies, and then the deep dish. Right.
The deep dish, and there's two. We grew up, and actually we were lucky enough because there was a stuffed, we called it stuffed back then. It was deep dish, but stuffed.
It's stuffed.
There was a stuffed pizza.
Still to this day stuffed.
Called Nancy's on Lawrence Avenue. And Nancy's was one of the original stuffed pizzas. There were earlier ones, but we grew up on the tavern style pizza, which is, the name came more from the South Side, but it was the same thing.
Right.
You get a round 18-inch pizza, thin crust, loaded with cheese, pepperoni or sausage had to be on it. And you cut it in squares. So it was cut, and you'd have these squares in the middle. Grew up on that pizza. That was
that this is a geometry lesson, but there were some non-square. There were triangles.
Well, that's New York, right? I mean,
you would even within the square cut. Pizza, you would still get these corner triangles.
Either you hated the corner triangles.
You hated them. You would just push those to the side.
Because it was too much of the crust, but the crust was crispy,
right?
And you know, we to this day, my wife and I will go get. There's different places, even in Elmhurst, that they're just a little different, and you like the corner pieces. I always eat first because you never would keep an order. I always would order an extra large because you want it the next day if you didn't finish it. So, but you always got to eat the corner pieces because they don't stay very long.
That's it.
It's because there's too much crust. But that's the staple, that tavern style pizza. And there's different versions of it. The South Side actually is a little sweeter sauce. Because when we were in Naperville, we lived in Naperville for 25 years.
Would you call Naperville the South Side?
Oh, well, a lot of South Side.
I would call Bolingbrook the South Side.
Well, they're next to each other. But Naperville was a combo of some South Siders, some, not many North Siders, but a lot of transient people, a lot of people who were working sales jobs. We were thinking about this. There were a lot of like Lucent Technologies was out there, like big
non-Chicago people,
that would live in
wanted
Naperville.
A good quality of life for their kids,
Absolutely.
Good school district. Right?
That was Naperville.
That was their thing.
But we had a South Side place right down the street from where we had a house for 25 years called Traversos, and it was that South Side, which was a little different take than the Northwest Side, that we had. But we liked it. I thought it was a little salty, and it had a little bit of a sweet sauce. But my wife actually loved it. But that was one that there was versions of that tavern style pizza. What everyone associates Chicago with is the deep dish or the stuffed pizza.
Right.
We would get that even growing up. We'd go to Nancy's once.
It would be a special.
It was
right?
special.
Special.
Yeah. And even then,
everyone thinks you get the pizza that we never ate that pizza.
No. We never ate
exactly.
It was,
first of all, it's expensive. It took an hour to cook.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, I want pizza now. We get delivery.
That's right.
Go pick it up.
100%.
And it would take forever. And it was like, no.
And the local joints didn't even specialize. You You wanted you wanted lasagna in the pan. They'd give you your lasagna in your pan. We never got that deep
We
stuff.
never got it. When we did get it, it was like I said, it was Nancy's in Norwich. But to this day, I like Lou Malnati's.
Lou's the go-to for me.
Lou's, and there's a couple other Pequod's, which is not well, it's from Chicago area, but it's not. It's one of the pizza places in the city. They do it a little different. I really like their pizza if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
But again, it's rare.
It's rare.
You eat that tavern stuff.
Yeah.
We still, to this day, I'll eat pizza like from we're in Elmhurst now. There's a place called Roberto's we get it from. I'll eat it once a week for dinner. I love it. I mean, I cannot stop eating. Yeah. And I know someday I'm probably going to have to stop eating that pizza, but for now, I'm still eating that pizza once a week.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It really is.
Absolutely.
But people have to know, if you're going to get a flight out and you're going to hit O'Hare, don't stop at that Gino. No, that's Gino. Which is the
well, Gino's East is downtown. Giordano's.
The Giordano's by the airport. It's not bad, but there's a Giordano's there. It takes 45 minutes to get that pie out of the oven.
Yeah.
So you're going to miss your flight.
Absolutely.
And you're going to pay $30 for a pizza. And that's why I think Chicago really gets a bad rap here outside of Chicago, because there's a place called Lefty's and people are like, I'm not paying $30 for it. Now, one piece, the whole entire pie feeds the entire family.
Yeah. One piece
fills you up.
If I ever eat 2 stuffed pizza,
that's right.
Like, oh.
That's right.
Yeah. But no, it's worth trying. It's it's a cool thing. It's good. It's good. And I think Lou's quality, their ingredients.
Lou's is good.
They're the freshest. They're the for a chain. You can find local places, but.
So let's pivot to hot dogs.
The Chicago
versus
dog,
New York hot dog.
Well,
First of all,
I don't even know what a New York hot dog is. I mean,
Nathan's.
No. I love the whole thing.
You want the Vienna beef.
Yeah. So
where you pop it and a little bit of that hot oil pops you in the eye and you're like, what the heck?
Pretty close.
And you're almost like bleeding a little bit in the eye and because you're burning, but you're like, this is unbelievable.
There's 2 places when we talked about earlier. Superdog, which is on the northwest side of the city.
Yeah.
The big wiener with the muscles.
So Superdog was showcased in a movie. I think it was Wayne's World, wasn't it?
Oh, I think it was. Yeah.
Superdog I think it was Wayne's World. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's good. And it had you get your hot dog with mustard, relish, onion, sport peppers, and chopped tomatoes.
So are you saying ketchup is not allowed on a hot dog?
Everyone knows that, Joe. That's low-hanging fruit. Come on, no.
People put ketchup on a hot dog.
People still do, and it's okay. I don't care.
We're not going to judge.
But I taste them like why?
The celery salt? Did you throw?
Yeah, and they put celery salt.
Yeah.
But what Superdog does is they superimpose green on that relish.
Oh,
they make it like that glowing green.
Yes, nuclear green.
I'm not a fan of that.
You're not a fan of that.
No, I'm just not. It looks kind of silly, but whatever.
But you buy it from Vienna. It's in the jar.
Yeah, and you can buy it from Vienna. Mm-hmm. That's a Vienna thing, Vienna beef thing. But there's a place in River Grove, which is just outside the city.
Yeah,
it's called Gene and Jude's, and it has
Gene and Jude's is wonderful. By the way,
yeah.
Go to the ATM because they don't take credit card, only. By the way, because that's the Chicago way.
And you can eat standing up in the inside part of the counter, or you can eat in your car, or you wait till you get home. Which
and know what you're doing,
never recommend
because you don't want to be the guy who gets to the front of the line and doesn't know what they're ordering. Yep. You don't want to be that guy. And everyone, by the way, you got contractors, you got some scruffy guys behind you going, are you friggin' kidding me with this guy?
This is old school. And there's a place in Chicago called the Wiener Circle that has kind of a similar
Wiener Circle.
But Gene and Jude's
they'll curse at you.
Yeah, they yell at you. So Gene and Jude's doesn't curse at you, but you're waiting in a long line and you have to make your order, and then you literally like it's a conveyor belt, and then you come and they do your hot dogs. But when you watch it, you understand why they pull the snappers out of the hot water, and they got your steamed buns. And I would always recommend
that was my nickname in college.
Steamed buns. JoeyPinzon.com. JoeyPinzon.com. Is it JosephPinzon.com? What do you have silk?
That's when I dabbled in the silks, JosephPinzon.com. So if you're really interested in my hobbies, go to JosephPinzon.com.
It's really amazing.
You'll see I'm very flexible.
Anyways, so you wait in the line and they pull you got to get the double lock because the bun's really steamed, but you need 2 of those snappers in there and get it loaded and sport peppers. Then they take the fries and they take the fries out of the hot and they put it right on top of the hot dog.
That's right.
And they wrap it all up.
It's all part of
And
one
It's all
thing.
part of one
Yeah.
thing. And it's magic.
It's magic.
It's magic. And
Yes.
it's so good to eat. But
But
that
Gene and Jude should also be sponsoring our pod.
I
mean,
would
we're
think so.
really promoting. I mean, we should be making
well, maybe next year DCAC has a Chicago. Maybe we have
a Chicago theme.
Absolutely. Rob Daly, make this happen. Dude, come
That's
on.
what I'm talking
I
about.
think we can do this.
Now, you do need to make sure, though, that we don't send people to Wiener Circle and that they order the black milkshake or the chocolate milkshake, because that is a bad thing. Trust me, do not order the chocolate milkshake from Wiener Circle. You will regret that.
I don't know that one.
I will tell Sam offline
Okay.
on what that means.
I'm trying to think if I ever. No, okay, I won't
Yes,
do that.
do not
I
do
won't
that. It's going to cost you $10, which is a lot for a milkshake.
Okay. I won't
So,
do the milkshake thing.
Yes,
I
don't
you.
do it. And they
So-
closed for a little bit, but then they
did, but
reopened.
They were just they were in the news for something. Somebody was there.
And they
Who?
they
Jared
reopened.
was there. That's right.
Yeah.
He worked behind there. So that's hot dog. What was the last thing? Italian beef.
So that's hot dog. So you're saying Gene and Jude's.
I would
100%.
tell anybody who flies into Chicago for a business trip, take an Uber. It's probably a 20-minute, 25-minute trip out to River Grove to go to this hot dog place.
Are you saying Portillo's kind of played out?
Oh, I love Portillo's. I'm a huge Portillo's
Okay.
fan.
All right.
And I would say
For the hot dog?
Well, their hot dog's really good.
But it's not Vienna because they got into a little disagreement.
But it doesn't even matter. It's good. The Italian beef there I really like the Italian beef there. The hamburgers at Portillo's. In
That's
terms
what
of
they're,
a
you know
chain,
what? Outside of the hot dogs, they have even their cheese sticks are unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a great chain that was really a little secret to Chicago for years.
I think now we need to break and do a commercial for Lipitor. So all your cholesterol needs here.
No, unless I can agree with that. We're both here. You got to work out. You got to do certain things. But yeah.
We travel with a defibrillator.
Yeah. No, look, you got to pick and choose.
You got to pick and choose.
But this stuff's actually, I really believe Italian beef sandwiches, not the combos. If you get Italian sausage, it gets a little much. But a good Italian beef sandwich is not that unhealthy because it's just beef, bread, and gravy. And for people, it was an Italian immigrant food in Chicago and other places, but it was the ability to spread beef out. And
so where do we get our beef in
spices.
Chicago? Where do you get your beef in Chicago?
Well,
Johnny's? Are we picking Johnny's?
I think Johnny's is always
number one.
And you could actually go
Johnny's on North Avenue.
Yeah, North Avenue in Harlem. And then you can go to Gene and Jude's and you
get a good
defibrillator.
Yeah.
But you go to Johnny's, and I like Portillo's. Bona Beef has done a really nice job. They're a little different. I'm like or not like it. I'm not criticizing by any stretch. I like Portillo's a little better. And then Mr. Beef, which was on Orleans, and there's a one on Harlem Avenue where we grew up, not far, just south of.
By the way, that was in the late
Mr.
early
Beef?
90s when I was a male entertainer. That was my stage name, Mr. Beef. Keep going, Sam. Sorry.
No, you distracted me. I'm sorry. But that's your Italian beef, and you can. But I would just say this: if you are out of town, and you can go to a Portillo's. By the way, Portillo's sponsored DCAC next year. If you can go to a Portillo's, it really gives you a really.
It really does.
It does. It gives you the flavor.
And they opened one in Dallas.
Yeah,
which is unbelievable.
one of the guys who lives up in Dallas called it, "Hey Sam, I went to that Portillo's." Like, no, it's not Portillo's.
And there's a line out the door.
Yeah,
we were going to get something and we left, so we couldn't.
So, Mike, I think I moved over. Here you go. Joe, what else do we have to say about us in the data center industry? Because it's called Data Center Revolution.
Yes.
How do you like it so far? You're only 6 months or 8 months into.
I dig it. I dig it. So I mean, listen, it's a utility. So I mean, before working in the high tech space, you're generating concepts and ideas that solve for problems, but that's an evolution. So it's constantly evolving on the high tech space, even on the fintech space or any type of machine learning technology. It's evolving, and you have to be better. You have to come up with something. The data center space is a utility. We can't live without water. We can't live without electricity. We cannot live without a data center. So it's a requirement. It's a need. We have a labor shortage. We know that. And one thing I did not mention, which I'm sure everyone knows, that I am a veteran, and the majority of, not the majority, but a big sample set of our organization are veterans. We are a veteran-owned or disabled-owned organization. And so we know that we can fulfill a lot of the labor shortage through transitioning veterans, right? So that gives us purpose. Working for a company that has a little bit of a different mission and purpose is really interesting. But as long as we know that we're fulfilling a requirement, I think that's it is a little bit different. Plus, it still is technology. So you're not only a utility, you're driving through technology, you're creating innovative ways to deliver for this and solve for this solution. You're able to help individuals that have never been introduced into this industry before. Veterans are wonderful because we take them from the battlefield and we place them directly into the data center space. Get them trained up, and give them an ability to create a legacy for themselves. So I'm candidly really enjoying it. I can see myself doing this for the remainder of my career and not needing to do anything else. So, and that's someone who spent 25 years at one company and a year in fintech, and now I'm at that data center. So I'm happy to stay with what we're doing, Sam. Do you enjoy the? I mean, you're a real estate guy.
Yeah, no, I enjoy this, and it's funny because we're not even into investment in data centers, which I'm hoping shortly we will be. But we're in staff augmentation, we're in direct placement, we're in construction management expertise. This group is so strong and so tied into the industry. I love that part of it. Yeah, I'm on the financial side, and I'm trying to create, the accounting and get us ready for our next round of investors coming in and what we're going to need to produce in terms of financial statements and things like that. So it's that side of it. But I also love learning about what we're doing and why we make a difference in this industry. And whether, because I was in real estate, I've always been, I gravitate toward that entrepreneurial spirit and a small business. And there's so much to do. Every day is so much. You wake up and you don't even know what's going to hit.
Right.
And I love that. I love that excitement and what we're doing. But we're driven by the purpose. I'm not a veteran. My wife's father was, and I have several uncles and things like that were. But it's awesome. It's such a good cause. It's such a great purpose to find a way to get veterans who are transitioning out of the military into what I think is a relatively still unknown industry.
100%.
And they don't know about it. I mean, and to have this ability to introduce and that's why I like using this format to kind of, you may be bored with this podcast, but boy, if it opens any door to somebody looking at this and saying, why don't I contact Gonzo from Overwatch? We're now pretty heavily on social media. There's ways to get in touch with us if we can help you and help you transition into this industry.
That's right.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Right.
It's purpose, guys. And you guys, and they're trained, guys and girls. You guys are trained in the military for this type of critical environment where every second counts.
That's right.
And I just think it's really cool. So that's my favorite part of this.
Yep.
So
yeah. What I always say is don't do us a favor by giving us an opportunity by placing a veteran, because you're not doing us a favor. What you're not realizing at first is that the veteran is trained. They're leaders. They're built-in leaders. They have a high level of aptitude. They're pressure tested, and they're ready to succeed in an industry that requires their ability to be cool and calm under pressure.
Absolutely.
So you're absolutely correct, Sam. It really is a cool deal, and we also have our Savage e-commerce site that we just launched.
Absolutely.
Which is pretty exciting, and what we're trying to do there is it's a combination of merging the grittiness of the military into the data center space and just creating a cool theme around the fact that if you are in the data center space, yeah, you may be a nerd, you may be a savage, you may be in the military. It doesn't make a difference. So we're merging all of these into one. You'll find something for you representing your industry at Overwatch's Data Center Savage website. So come visit us there. Come also visit us at We Are Overwatch. You'll see all of our different platforms, and all of this is available at DCAC. That really is the glue. Come to the conference, see what it's about. Even if you're not in this industry and you're seeing this for the first time, it's important to see what's available to you. And you, I promise, will fall in love. If you have not been to DCAC, you will fall in love with this industry.
Interestingly enough, I'm going to invite. I have a couple of real estate friends who are going to come up to the conference, and I remember last year listening to Peter Gross speaking and Chris Crosby speaking, and I didn't know these guys. I didn't know the industry, but in that conference and just watching them, I learned so much, and I didn't even know, a whole lot. But it is really a great platform if you're a real estate investor thinking about, do you want to invest in the data center space? If you're a private equity group and you want to, come to the conference, you'll learn so much about this industry. So, it's the best place, and it's a fun conference. Again, this is part of the culture of our tribe, of our Overwatch tribe. Is again, there's a paramilitary theme, but it's really good. It's fun, and it's in welcoming, and come join us.
Yeah.
And that's what I would just say.
Absolutely. Well, Sam, I'll tell you, this may become a theme, the Sammy P and the Joey P Chicago connection. We may have to get shirts made.
Yeah.
We can brand this. I think.
You know who our first guest is going to be?
Who would it be?
Sebastian Maniscalco. We'll get him.
That would be the guy.
That would be the guy
because he grew up outside of our neighborhood.
He grew up right by our neighborhood.
Listening to him is like, it's our family story.
It is totally. So
have you seen the movie?
Yeah. No, the new one that came out.
Movie?
No, I have not seen it.
With Robert De Niro. Oh my God, it's our family. Yeah. It's my dad. It's unbelievable. You have to watch the movie. You got to watch. It's literally my dad, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
So we got to get this whole thing.
The fighting and the whole thing.
I can't wait.
It's unbelievable.
So Sammy P and Joey P,
the Chicago, the data center Chicago connection. And we're available for any questions, and we'll make sure we go on tour.
We can do that.
If you want, you can check me out at my josephpinzon.com and my
and we are
silks.
Overwatch.
I dabble in the silks.
One word, right? We are Overwatch.
We are Overwatch.com.
And then what's data? Is it Data Center? What's
Data Center Revolution, which is the format we're on today, and then you also have Savage. Data Center Savage.
And on Instagram, I think it's called the DCAC is one of the sites on Instagram.
Or DCAClive.com. Yep, absolutely.
So just come check us out, guys. This is really cool shit.
Yeah.
So I think you'll really enjoy it.
By the way, I didn't say a bad word this entire time.
I just
Sam said shit. Yeah. I'm just going to say that. And that's good for Chicago guys, because that's
we did good.
We did good. I'm proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
My priest would be proud of me right now. We didn't even talk
Wait a minute.
We didn't even talk about swimming naked. All right, we're going to shut it off.
All right.
Here. All right.
Peace out.
Thank you.